Hello, everyone, and welcome to Get Folked Halloween Edition.
So you can all go and put yourself in bed. Tomorrow night it's always the time, 'cause
It's got a Halloween feel, I think. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Get Folked, a casual listening podcast anchored in our love of folk music, but when enough slack in the line to take you to our worlds of Berlin, Limerick, and beyond. My name is Andrew, Jazzy Jeff. Andrew. I didn't prepare anything there. Go ahead, you.
Yes, my name is Edward. I also cannot ad-lib Brophy. And you're very welcome to this episode
Libless.
of Get Folk Podcast, episode 96. Episode 96, take 2, actually. This is the second time we've attempted to record this podcast. So you are perfectly entitled, dear listener, to expect the perfect show. Because fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. This is our fool me twice
Yeah,
attempt.
we've taken
at
that
this,
first
this
draft.
episode.
We've rounded the edges, smoothened off all the rough exterior to give it a smooth,
It's like
silk like feel.
like a stocking over both mine and Andrew's smooth bottoms. That's how
They-
smooth it is.
Whoa,
We've already got
man.
smooth bottoms, but imagine
Absolutely.
a silk stocking somehow inappropriate.
The stocking. How would the stocking work over the cheeks? Is the question.
This
as well.
this is not a stocking that's going for mass manufacture. This is a one-off stocking. It's a bespoke stocking that goes all the way over the buttocks.
Nice.
I think they're called tights, actually,
Tights.
aren't
I
they?
think we're going for tights
Yeah.
here now. We're going to wear a pair of tights, silk tights. Okay, go back. We'll get this in the third attempt.
Silk
yeah,
tights. Silk tights over
silk,
soft bottoms. That's what this episode's
regular
gonna feel
old
like.
tights. Just regular old tights. It's Halloween after all.
And just all I would say is, now that you've got that image of that sort of kind of underwear image of me and Andy posing,
Burlesque
I guess
I
we're
think.
posing.
Burlesque.
We're posing in that. What's that? I didn't catch that, Andrew.
I said burlesque brophy.
Okay. Well, good. I'm always a fan of alliteration, especially over the podcast. So yeah, now that you have that, we've got that image firmly established. Me and Andy on the Paris catwalks in our silk undergarments. In your mind, picture it. That's what this episode's going to feel like.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So join us on Substack. Join us on Apple Podcasts. Join us on Instagram. Follow us as we traverse. No, did I say Instagram already? You know where to find us at this stage. Facebook, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and the main event, the mothership, Substack. Don't forget to subscribe there to help out the podcast. Thank you. Silk stockings out and about.
I'm searching. I'm searching for a piece of writing.
That you wrote yourself?
No, that I read recently. We'll just go with all this sexy talk. But no, I can't find it. So how are you doing, man?
Fine. So yeah, we recorded this episode already on Friday evening, I think it was, and it was the worst in terms of like connection, internet connection. It was comically bad. I mean, like sometimes it happens where it'll happen at the start of the episode, and by like 2 minutes in, it has kind of, or 5 minutes later, it's kind of ironed itself out, and you can salvage the whole thing. But this one just got worse and worse. Like every time there was no ebb and flow in the conversation because I'd say something and Andy would react like 5 minutes later or something like that. So we kind of came back and came away and just said we'll just have to re-record it.
Yeah.
The only thing is, it does take away a little bit from the spontaneity or something like that because you're kind of then thinking, I do have to talk about the same things we talked about. I can't do that because I don't
No,
prepare
I
anything.
will. I will give a shout out to the opening credits, though, to
Yeah.
the man who I spoke about in the previous episode, who is playing, jamming, and living kind of on the bridge very near me at the moment. He is living in a tent. He's a homeless man, so he's living rough, as they say. But I had a nice chat with him, and I did speak about the last time I was with him that he had mentioned that he wanted me to buy an amp for him, and I kind of took it as a kind of a joke, as in one of these things you say to someone. But that is the same artist, and he has found himself an amp and electric guitar from somewhere, and now
Mm,
he's playing it. So fool me, he made a fool of me. I'm going to get him on the podcast.
mm.
Well, we'll take a few steps to get him on the podcast, but the he's got an amp, is what I'm saying, and I'm
Yeah,
proud of
we have to drug screen. We drug screen all our guests.
him.
So that's the first step.
I found
But I'm sure he'll pass.
I'm going
I'm
to
sure he'll
redirect
pass.
us now, since we're going kind of, since we're doing this, and it all the talk started sexily with all the sexy tights and burlesque shows.
Mm.
I'm going to read you a little passage from that. I told you I was reading. I kind of fell out with it. Not that I fell out with it. I just stopped doing it and started doing other things. Letters of an Irish parish priest by John B.
Oh yeah.
Keane. Really
Yeah.
enjoying it. Really, it's the kind of thing I get into it, and I just but this. So it's letters to. I don't know if they're real letters. I feel like they all have to be rooted in some sort of truth.
Okay.
Mainly because it does talk a lot about just like, I guess back in the day, people were writing to the parish priest to kind of say things that were going on, and the parish priest held a lot of power in terms of what they could do and what they could, like, there's one letter that goes in about a guy who keeps pissing in the alleyway of this woman's house. He keeps doing it, and she's getting really annoyed, so she writes to the priest going, whatever, Bobby McNamara keeps on like exposing himself down there, and it's not right, Father. It's not right. And you need to do something about it.
Mm.
So he contacts her and says to the next time it happens to contact me. So she rings him the next time, and it just describes how he goes down, and he catches him in the act of either pissing or exposing himself. He's not aware. This what's his name? Father O'Mora. And he just
That must have
kicks him
that that must have
square in the balls.
that
It's
must have
quite.
been a really long piss.
Yeah, I feel like it was exposure. I feel like there's a lot of indecent
Okay.
exposure. But anyway,
Okay.
his solution to it was to go down and kick him straight between straight in the gonads, which I kind of liked, and which I could kind of imagine happening. I can imagine someone contacting the parish priest, but like we would have, as a youth, probably gone down a few alleyways, or desperately in the need for a piss. Like in
Yeah.
Berlin, it's probably not as weird, but doing it down in North Tipperary, you don't want to get caught too often doing it. It's not the done thing. It's emergency stuff.
I definitely think in the town of Nina at a certain time in the morning at a weekend, it is definitely the done thing. It's and I'd go so far as to call it decent exposure as opposed to indecent. That's what I think because it's so necessary, such a natural bodily function.
So that was
What are
that
you supposed to do?
exactly. So that was me describing the incident ad lib, as you mentioned earlier on. This is direct. This is
Okay.
direct from the letter to Father O'Mora. I'm a married woman whose family is done for, and all gone their ways abroad in the world from their home in the High Valleys. My husband and I were always united and happy until 2 months ago he got a parcel from his brother Martin in Chicago. First I thought the contents of was a rubber boat or the like, but I found out in time it was a rubber woman that could be pumped up with air or filled with warm water until it became the size and shape and colour of a fine figure of a young woman, exactly the same appearance as Dolores Viago, the famous film star that was in Voyage to Mars. She has glass eyes, dark and long lashes, exactly the same as the real Dolores, and when she is squeezed, she sighs like a real person from some gadget underneath her Oxter. My husband has gone crazy over her, taking her to bed and talking to her and buying the like of a watch for her and some nice clothes and underwear. I do not know what to do, Father. There are more cases than me in the high valleys, which was always a holy and contented place where the rosary is never missed in any house, even still. But he puts Dolores Viago in the trimmings and puts her alongside him and says a decade in a woman's voice. By the way, it would be her, by the way, it would be her talking. He answers in his own voice, and I answer too for the sake of quietness. Others have their false women too, but it was my brother-in-law Martin that sent the first one. They all started writing for one. I only saw one other. She is the image of Mrs. Freddie Foxpelly, who rides the horses on TV, except she hasn't a stitch of clothes on her. Will you guide us, Father, out of this evil pass? Pray for us, Father. Our men are shoving on in their years, and are turning a bit foolish. Frighten them, Father. No, frighten them, Father. No, would they forget this nonsense? Yours faithfully, Noreen Hannessy, Mrs. So, yeah, that would obviously grab my attention, that letter. I was like, whoa, look at this. Like 1950s, 60s Ireland. And a few rubber ladies making their appearances. And by the sounds of things, not bad ones, not the kind of like the stag night kind of poorly blown up inflatable woman or man that you can get. But this sounds like can be filled with water, makes noises, has a little machine in the Oxter. Where's the Oxter?
I don't know. Is the Oxter in your throat? Maybe. What is an Oxter? I'm gonna look it up.
Fucking hell, man. Okay, all right. I know we've gone with blown up women, but these people are still Catholics. We're not putting sound boxes in their throats.
I don't know, man.
The Oxter.
The Oxter. It's a person's armpit.
So you have to squeeze them by the side.
That's fucked up. that's some new shit. That's some new Karma Sutra stuff I'm not aware of. The armpit. Come here. That's mad. That's like that's fair play to them, because there's nothing that they can't make in the States, right? That's amazing.
Yeah.
What did she think it was? She thought it was a bullet.
She thought it was a rubber boat. A rubber boat originally. Yeah.
Makes way more sense.
But then he took it out, and now he's starting to kind of to just
make love to it.
Make love to it, but it's the saying the rosary with it and answering in the woman's voice. That's where it gets into the kind of what you call it, the Psycho. Is it Psycho? Is the movie where he kept his grandmother dressed up in clothes and did her voice?
Yeah, it was that speaks to something far more serious. That he's looking for a long-term relationship. That he sees this rubber thing, this rubber lady, as having real life responsibilities. He wants her to get into heaven. He's bringing her along to the old rosaries.
This is it.
He doesn't just want to enjoy her here in this, but he wants to take her beyond the veil.
But I guess, I guess that is the selective religion, isn't it? It's people going, right, okay, I know what these guys are talking about on a Sunday. I think we talked about this briefly in the last podcast in the first recording of this one, been secondly titled Double Veil. We talked about, I had just come back from a story reading session in the Irish Embassy, done by a gentleman. Do I still have the slip of paper here? I do. Oh, look at that for organized. By a gentleman called Owen de Bardoon, who was doing a story reading session. Well, he wasn't actually reading any stories. Mary Kelly and Roisin Tyrrell were doing the reading from his books, Twiggy Woman.
Yeah, Twiggy Woman.
And the other one is called Weave, where he just writes a lot of old Irish. He's a traveller. He's come from the traveller community, and he is trying to document the oral tradition stories that are in the traveling community. And and how did I get onto that? Oh yeah, I was talking about religion, and then when I spoke to him a little bit after the just reading, I was asking him about kind of spirituality and was he spiritual, and he said he is, but he has his own kind of, the travelers community have their own kind of interpretation of Catholicism and their own kind of traditions. So I guess what my friend here in the High Valleys is doing is just rewriting. I don't believe the traveler. He didn't mention anything about the blown up ladies. So I think this the Owen Devar, what's his name again? Owen Devardoon. Not so many inflatable ladies in his traditions. But then again, I didn't get into it. Didn't get into it with him, so I don't know how many. So yeah,
Yeah, a lot of the time talking to people, it's about knowing what questions to ask. I mean, you know what I mean. Something people might think nothing of. Do you know what this reminds me of? Actually, it reminds me of that movie with what's his name, the really good looking fella,
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. Good man. See,
Well, when you say good looking fella, I know who you're talking about immediately.
yeah.
Because
Oh, he's fucking beautiful, man. So that Lars and the Real Girls. Remember did that movie where he was
oh yes,
he brought this lady home. I think she was like an inflatable lady, or she was wasn't a real lady anyway. And he like treated her like as if she was talking, and brought her to church and brought her home and everything.
I do. Yeah,
Sounds exactly like that.
very good. Yeah, I'd forgotten. I think I've seen that movie actually. Yeah. What happens at the end of that? Oh, we shouldn't probably no spoilers actually, unless you're going
No,
to tell me the
no.
spoiler. Yeah, but there is a follow up. We can do it now, or we can save a little bit. But it's that he writes back to because there's a character there's two people he keeps writing to, Ray and his nephew Joe, who's entering the priesthood. I can't remember who Ray is exactly, but he has a nephew then Joe who's entering the priesthood, and Joe is talking to him about having lustful thoughts about someone that's in his class, in an acting class that he's doing, and kind of questioning whether he should go into the priesthood. And yeah, it's really interesting. Like the book itself is just it's really nice because there's another character in it, a priest who is working kind of under him. He's like the second priest, like
Yeah,
the Dougal, if you will, of of a trifecta, even though it's
yeah,
only a double. And but this character is being quite mischievous in the town, and someone keeps catching him staying out all night and coming out of a lady's house at all hours in the morning. And it started off with singing, and they were singing all night, but slowly the singing stopped, but the visits did not.
this is the
Uh,
priest.
the priest, yeah,
Oh,
which always brings me back to that kind of famous thing of like Bishop Casey, like in Ireland, like how much of a thing. I meant to ask my mom about that again, and that whole time when like there was this famous case in Ireland for those that are not Irish about Bishop Casey who had children while he was in the priesthood, and how much just stuff must have been going on in different parishes, like obviously the horrendous stuff, but like
yeah,
just the kind of the daily kind of normal stuff that was frowned upon by kind of people that were, you know, for all intents and purposes, informants to the church, who were like, I saw this person doing this, write a letter to Father O'Mora. Saw this person doing this, write a letter to Father O'Mora. Um, yeah, but
oh, definitely. I mean, you'd definitely have kind of like you've that around any center of power. You've that type of person will gravitate to it. I think no matter
mm.
what it is,
That's probably not
and
there anymore as much. Then I guess it's not there anymore. Like I can't think of anyone that would be like, I have a problem here, and this is like great because it's just got so many, like so many. It's like like what do you call it? One of those problem columns things. Like they're just writing in the issue that they need. Like a lot of it is like husbands beating their wives. Um, not a lot of it, but a bit of it is that, and yeah, and catching people doing things when they shouldn't be doing they shouldn't be doing, trying to get people to stop and have a bit of fear of God in them. Put the fear of God into them.
what other types of things should people not be doing in the book?
Well, as I said, it was there. So there was one fella who kept on, let's say, demanding his wife do her duties in the bedroom, even though she
Right.
was warned not to have any more children, and the priest had to go down and kind of warn him to stop that crack. There was
Oh
the
my god,
I think I
that's
told
grim.
you a few back about the local there was a school teacher. I think there's a few episodes back I was
Yeah.
telling you a story about the school teacher and
yes.
who was caught kind of running naked in the beach, and
Mm.
someone wrote a letter about that. There was another one about a poker game recently, and what did I say? I can't remember. Father Dynamite Derby or something like that. I can't remember what his name was. But anyway, there was a poker game that they talked about, where a couple of people, where it ended up that there was an argument over a game of poker. Who won the final hand, and it ended up being the priest had to kind of step in, and you have my call is final, kind of. So the priest had to decide who gets the money, kind of a thing. So all these kind of things, but like it's all the backstory, kind of like what the stories that the storytelling that I went through. They're kind of stories to nothing, and trying to talk about them now without kind of the crutch of the excellent prose from John B. Keane. I sound like
Yeah.
fucking dog shit here talking, but reading them out and just reading it to yourself, you kind of I don't know, you get a sense of the time and the place and the people that you're reading
Yeah.
about, which is really, really nice from these books. And I can't remember when it was written. I probably said that the last time.
Was there any reason, Andy, that you didn't go through the one about your man exposing himself down the alley? Was that because I had put up too strong a defense against, in favor of people urinating in an alleyway? Is that why you cried off that one?
Say that again. What do you mean cried it off?
You had started the episode talking about the lady complaining about a guy urinating in an alley beside her house.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to read that one, but you seem to have cried off reading that one. I'm assuming because I put up such a good argument in favor of peeing down alleyway.
It was all the sexy tights made of silk thing. It made me gravitate more towards the inflatable woman than the man exposing himself in the hallway. And also, I had
is
the
he
page
exposing
marked.
himself, or is he urinating?
Not in the hallway, sorry, in the alleyway. You see, this is the thing. Like he seems to, as you said, there was a lot of time for him to pass. A lot of time for him to like leave, finish his piss, and move on. And I believe he was just, I don't know what you'd be doing, kind of exposing yourself down the alleyway. I try to imagine it in Again or in Nina, and just like being in an alleyway and just like, I don't know, pulling it out there and just like overdo it. Yeah, you can see where this would end up going. Like if you just spend it too long with the piss, people are going to stop giving you the benefit of the doubt after a while.
Yeah, I'm still shaking it.
It's just like
I'm still shaking off the last drop here.
It's very much a kind of I told you not to disturb me while I'm cleaning my room kind of vibe to it.
Well, I could have a very serious case of shy kidney syndrome, and he finally found a fucking alley that he's happy with. Like one that provides the perfect ambiance.
Which clearly has a window facing directly onto it of a woman who lives there.
Yeah, well, don't look out the window, you know what I mean? Like he's just, there's like, it's a crazy world out there. And
I don't know. Living in a city, Ed, and I know you live in a nice kind of separated kind of house where there's no possibility of anyone ever looking out their window.
There's possibilities, Andy. There's endless possibilities.
I'm just saying that when I look out my window, there's a lot of real estate there for pissing in, and people are pissing, sleeping, shitting, and vomiting, and shooting.
Business is booming. Business is booming.
There is it is an ant colony. I literally look out the door and it's an ant colony of just crawling
of defecation.
Yes.
I told you about the tied off condom. I definitely spoke about this. So look, I'm not without. I know what you're talking about. I'm not without my my own crosses to bear, my own tied off Johnny crosses to bear. So anyway, I'll just say,
give me a quick summary of that one again. I'm trying to remember.
So I just moved into the house, and like that, it is relatively rural, not fully rural, but relatively rural, and but it's right by a busy road. And I walked out one day to the garden, and someone had thrown a used condom into the yard, but had tied off the open end of it, and it had been used. It was full of full of God's glue, and just but they tied it off. They're like, "Oh, I'm not getting that in my car," and then whipped it out the window, so it landed in my garden. My garden is fine, but their car, God forbid,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a crazy world out there. And like I said, this guy found an alley that he can finally relieve himself in. And now this lady's just kind of going telling the fucking priest, and he comes down and kicks him in the balls. He'll never piss again, probably.
He
Do
actually
you ever
doesn't.
suffer from shy kidney syndrome? Did it ever happen to
Shy
you?
can, like, desperate need but can't do it.
As in, like you're at a urinal and there's other
Yeah,
guys around,
yeah,
and for some reason it's just I just can't squeeze it out for some reason, and you have to go. You do have to go, like.
yeah. But it's more of a kind of I need to piss, but I'm not bursting here, and I'm just going to. Yeah, but
Yes.
it can happen that you kind of go in, and it's just like, all right, I just want to do this, but then you're like, oh god, yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, it's happened.
Yeah. It's worse if there's a queue. If there's a queue and there's a queue behind you, and
Oh,
then
the pressure is just
the
it's
pressure
just
is
yeah, yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
But
And
it
then
can
it's
go.
like you can go into the cubicle, but you're going to be waiting longer, and nobody believes you're taking a shit in the cubicle. They're all like, "There's a guy who needs his quiet time," and you could be like, "Well, I had an alley, but I got kicked in the
Create-
fucking balls last time I tried to use it,
we're
so I'm not
creating a
going out there
perimeter
anymore."
here. This tape is going up, just kind of circling around the door, just like, listen, we need a 5 meter perimeter around here.
And nobody look at me. Don't talk too quietly either, because I'll think you're talking about me. So talk loudly and talk about other things.
People
So
talking to you in the cubicles, yeah, that doesn't happen, I guess, so often anymore. But in the last school I worked at, there was 2 cubicles. You did back to back shits. It was weird if you were going in there. 2 cubicles, like, so narrow bathroom. You walk in first, and there's 2 urinals, and then you walk in further, and there's 1 cubicle with a toilet, and then but they're back, and then there's 2 cubicles to basically to go in and sit down, but they were back to back with a partition in between. And some people would actually kind of go. Some people would realize then that the other person, they would know the other person, or they recognize they came in at the same time or caught it, whatever, something, and they would go. They would say something, and then you're kind of, oh, I don't want to do this right now.
I don't want to be associated with the sounds I'm about to make. I would rather nobody know it's me.
Exactly. We'll all leave and never speak of this again.
Exactly. It's a very much. This should be an anonymous situation. Like this is. Exactly. That's exactly what I said. It's like things are about to happen here. I'd rather this image not be conjured of me in somebody else's mind outside of here. So I'd rather we not talk and you not know it's me.
Would you like to hear how how it turned out for the people in the high valleys?
Absolutely, as in with the inflatable ladies.
Well, yes, the issue. So this is
I don't see an issue, but tell me how. don't know what all the cribbing is about, but go ahead, tell me what happened.
So this is Father O'Mora writing back then, but writing to Ray again. So now, so Ray, well, what does he say? Something to Ray there. I think Ray has a bad heart or something, because at the end of it he says, "I hope you're obeying the specialist orders. Plenty of rest and no excitement." Anyways, dear Ray, the following is the short history of what I will lightly call the High Valley Heresy. A few weeks ago, I received a distraught letter from a Mrs. Noreen Hennessy, about which I told you.
Name and everything by.
It concerned a rubber woman, as you will remember. First, I was going to enlist the aid of a few redemptorists, not redemptionists, redemptorists, which I haven't looked up yet, but I assume it's probably the same thing. Redemptorists. Want to have a quick scan for that one? What a redemptorist is? First, I was going to enlist the aid of a few redemptorists.
Go on.
And let them loose in the high valleys, but those days are gone, and more's the pity. I arrived at Hennessy's not long after receiving the letter. They were just finishing the midday meal. You got that for me? Will I keep going?
Go on, stick on.
At the table was Mrs. Hennessy, Mr. Jack Hennessy, and his friend, Dolores Viago, the rubber woman. I must confess she looked very lifelike, and in all respects that I could notice resembled a famous film star of the same name. Dolores sat upright with both hands in front of her on the table. She wore a purple trouser suit bought for her by Jack. Jack and the wife stood up as soon as I entered, but he made no attempt to hide Dolores. Mrs. Hennessy invited me to take a seat, and at once she started to cry. She attempted to dry her tears with her apron, but lost control of her weeping, stood up, and turned towards the door. You're not like that, said Jack to Dolores, always crying and stinking. So saying, he gave Dolores a kiss on the cheek. Destroy that evil image, I roared at him, or I'll have you excommunicated. To this he made no answer. Instead, he lifted Dolores Viago in his arms and took her to the bedroom. There he proceeded to strip her. I intervened and further warned him about the excommunication, but he roughly pushed me to one side, stripped of her garments. This rubber object turned out to be as fine a physical female as you could behold. In every manner imaginable, she resembled a naked woman. He drew back the
Jesus.
bedclothes and lay down. I know it gets musty here. That's like, this is what the people were reading.
Fucking, I bet you it's musty after your man going at that joke. Fucking, my God.
He stripped her of her garments. This rubber dog turned out to be as fine a female. Oh, yeah. In every manner imaginable, she resembled a naked woman. He drew back the bedclothes and laid her down gently. He then drew the clothes over her body. Then he proceeded to undress himself. He ignored my presence. I pleaded with him to have respect for his wife and religion, but his eyes were glazed with lustful longing. I left him to his devilish work and went from the room to console his unfortunate spouse. She informed me that many of the men of the high valleys had rubber women which resembled famous female personalities and film stars. Here was a pretty kettle of fish. I could think of nothing in the civil law to stop them unless alone a charge of cruelty that could be brought against them. But then we would be the talk of the civilized world, as they call it, and that would never do. Mrs. Hennessy gave me the names of the other miscreants, and I spent a fruitless evening trying to make them see the light. If word of what was going on got outside of the high valleys, we would never live it down in the parish of Lucknan. Towards the end of my journey, I came to the house of an octogenarian whose name was Alphonsus MacLear. An octogenarian?
Octogenarian, I think. I can't remember what it is.
It's just a person, I think, in their 80s. Or so my mother told me. Octogenarian. Did you find out if there was a difference between a redemptorist and a redemptionist?
I don't know if there's a difference, but Denturist is just a part of the Catholic religious congregation of priests and brothers, officially called the Congregation of the Most Holy Redeemer, founded in 1732 by Saint Alphonsus. Saint Alphonsus Liguri. They are dedicated to preaching the gospel, especially to those on the margins of society and the church, and are known for their work with the poor and abandoned. Their mission emphasizes God's abundant mercy and love for all people, but nothing about rubber dolls.
Well, obviously they must have been the hardcores that dealt with the people that were unsavable, maybe, and that's why he needed a few of them for the high valleys.
These are the priests who were able to think outside the box, because I think you need some lateral thinking when you're confronted with a guy like that.
It's like the episode of Father Ted when the milk van is going over the 6 kilometers an hour.
Fucking hell.
We need to get the team on this. Say another mass.
This guy is fucking going for it. He's just going full bull. He's going to have sex with this rubber doll, priest or no priest.
That's happened now. The priest left that happen, but he got the name. So now we got a little fucking Columbo going on, and he's narrowed down the names, and he's visiting them all now. He's going to see who he can get to crack. So he's gone to the house of Alphonsus MacLear, the octogenarian.
I would have said octogenarian, but yeah, you're right. It's somewhere between 80 and 89.
Perfect. It was he who owned the image of Mrs. Freddie Foxpelly, the famous horsewoman. Up to the time I arrived, he had not been able to blow her up to life size or fill her with warm water. He hadn't sufficient vessels for the latter or the car pump required for the former. When I arrived, he was pumping away with a pump which he had loaned him, he had been loaned by a neighbour. The job was near completion as I entered. Remember that the scoundrel was 83 years of age. His old woman, Tessie, sat doting in the corner while the neighbour, a man in his 50s, looked on. They ignored my presence despite my pointing out to them the evil they were manufacturing. When Mrs. Freddie Foxpelly was blown up, I must say she was a breathtaking sight. The neighbour flung his hands about her abdomen, but Alphonsus MacLear, with a vicious blow to the mouth, drove him back. Bide your time, he shouted. You'll get your turn. The old man looked every bit as hideous as a West African rib-nosed baboon when he bore her to the bedroom. I left in disgust, wondering how I could combat this dreadful plague. I was hardly 50 yards from the house when the neighbour called after me frantically. Come quick, father. he shouted at the top of his voice. I returned to the house, and there in the arms of Mrs. Freddie Foxbelly lay the corpse of Alphonsus McLear. The effort had been too much for him, or maybe it was God in his wrath. When word of his sudden demise spread, every rubber woman in the high valleys was burned or cut into pieces. I think they have learned their lesson. Can you, by the wildest and most vivid use of your excellent imagination, hazard a guess at how the Protestant-owned English Sunday newspapers would treat a story like this? I shudder to think of it. I cross myself hourly and thank God for our narrow escape. I hope you are obeying our specialist orders. Plenty of rest and no excitement. I'll be out to see you soon. As ever, Martin O'Mara.
Oh my God. That's funny but dark.
Yeah. Especially an 83-year-old man punching, with his wife sitting in the corner,
Doting.
punching the neighbor in the face saying, you'll get your turn, but I'm going to take this to this bedroom now. Even just 83 years of age and having the fucking stamina to go wet the rubber woman. You're like, right. So, yeah.
Is there a lesson to be drawn from this? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm qualified to I'm not
For
sure I'm
me,
qualified to draw a lesson. But
for me, it's like, the thing I like about it is I was like, Ireland was a bit mad. Like, I know we've got a very dark history with the priesthood as well. And this probably is not going to look at that. This is kind of looking at it from a perspective of a priest who is just enjoying, like, if this priest could have had a podcast back in the day, now again, he'd probably be bound, to not speak of these things under the.
I don't know. They were fairly they were fairly on the pulpit. When they got in the pulpit, they were able to say a lot. I think, no.
Yeah, I guess you could, without naming names and directly going after people in their confessions, you could be like, just have them up as evidence. Just what was it? I'd like to bring the court's attention to item number 476, the life-sized blow-up doll of Petunia McGurk. Anything to say, Petunia? Hey. Straight from the armpit. Hey.
It sounds like that video of a little turtle. You know, the turtle when it's trying to hump something.
Oh, yes.
Makes that noise as well.
Yes, yeah, maybe that's where there's something hidden.
Anyone who doesn't know about that video should YouTube it. Turtle humping a shoe, I think it is, and it makes it sound like the one Andy just made. Interesting. Do you know what? I think I have something from the story that's like, a quirky detail there. It's not really a moral lesson, but more of a like there was a little kind of technical lesson encoded in there. I don't know if you picked up on it, about inflating this doll. They mentioned it twice. Filling it with warm water.
Warm water.
Water. That seems specifically warm water.
And where are you filling it? Like what's
and it's like saying, well, I mean, this person is fucked up enough to have sex with this thing, but it's not so fucked up that
judge not lest you.
No, but what I mean is no. Wait, Andy, you have to let me finish speaking first.
Okay, sorry. I need to defend.
So yeah, just put the boots back on. Put the boots back on there.
Alphonsus was a good man. God rest his soul, Alphonsus.
What I'm saying it from the, let's say, the priest's perspective, right? Say these people are fucked up enough to have sex with this doll, but not fucked up enough that they don't, you know what I mean, to make it anything. It has to resemble human temperature, otherwise they're potentially fucking a corpse.
Yes, because necrophilia, is that what that's described as?
Yeah. So it's like you wanted to paint him in a bad light, but not that bad a light. That's another. You got some really weird dude in the next valley over filming with cold water. No, it has to be cold water. So weird detail.
Get it good and cold, man. Leave it outside for. But yeah, I have to say, as living in Berlin, and as you know, very, very liberal, very, very like sex is not as taboo as it would be for where I grew up, and kind of so there's a certain degree of acceptance in what you see people wear. Like I think we spoke before about, like, the assless gentleman at 10 o'clock in the morning as I was playing bools with my kids and just going around just chatting with people. And again, the kind of thing you just kind of go, you see, and then you go, huh. Whereas you saw it at home, it would be kind of like, call the guards. There's a naked man walking down the street, exposing himself. But
Indecently
yeah,
exposing himself.
but
There's
the
nothing
fact that
decent about that.
these were two households. Well, first of all, talking about man sheds or men's sheds or whatever you got, this was a group of guys who all heard about it. Hey, my brother just sent me over a sex doll, and it's fucking great. And the whole lot of them, big group of them, get me one. I want one. All having wives, all willing to just like have the rubber doll sit with them. So is it progressive or is it regressive society? I feel that's maybe.
Well, let's take a moment to appreciate the logistics involved. First of all, okay, let's at least applaud that much on the part of these guys. They're you can't accuse them of laziness. They saw what they wanted and they got it. But you know what it reminds me of as well, actually, is I was up in is it Carrick and Shannon for a stag party once. And Carrick and Shannon, by all accounts, this is its economy is stags and hens. And as I was driving into the town, there was like a shop just right as you're coming into the town on the right hand side, and there I was kind of driving slowly, and this lady, she was about, let's say, our mother's age, like, you know what I mean, our mother's age or whatever, like they'd be what, I don't know, whatever, that age group, right? And so she'd been sent out to on an errand to get stuff for the party, and one of the things was a giant inflatable penis with balls on it. Okay, so this is daytime though,
Not,
so it's
not
like
high quality though. This is just air. This is not. We're not talking put warm water or cold water
we're not
inside
talking,
this
no,
baby.
this is just air. This is just air, and she was obviously told, don't bring that fucking thing back deflated. Bring it back fully inflated now. You know what I mean? Get your man in the shop to inflate that. You know what I mean? So she walked out of the shop with this thing fully inflated, like in the afternoon. You know what I mean? Nothing had started yet. So now she's just walking down the footpath with this giant inflatable penis, and she was on her own, so she couldn't even have a laugh with anyone. Like, you know, it was just it was a brilliant image of where, like, you know, just how, like, the reality of the logistics behind how these things arrive at where they're wanted and lusted for. Although I don't think anyone was really lusting for this giant novelty inflatable penis. That's the type of thing that I don't think women really lust for that sort of stuff, do they? Like, look at a penis and go, yeah. I don't think they do.
Like a giant one, no, unless it's got a practical application. I don't know if there's it's, but it would be the same.
I don't think anyone looks at a penis and goes, lovely, that's really nice looking. I don't think anyone does.
I don't know. I don't. I think Ed. I think you're making assumptions there. No, it's a beautiful thing.
Who do you think says that?
Well, I know for a fact that when my younger son was 3 years old, I was drying myself in.
Oh yeah.
He very weirdly
Finish the story quickly.
Wasn't saying what.
Finish the story quickly though.
Sorry, yeah. So, I was just drying myself after a shower, and he was just kind of standing there, and I was just drying myself, and he just out of nowhere goes, "I love Dada's penis," because he's just obviously learned words like penis and yeah. But
and
God, am I going to have to edit this out? No, yeah.
You have really left a lot for people to slander you with there. A lot to work with.
Anyway, so let's hope.
But yeah. Well, first of all, they fucking
he's my son.
Kids that age, they follow you everywhere. So,
well, that doesn't help actually. Just shouting out, "He's my son."
So, is this your argument collapsing, or what do you think? Can you come up with another example that cannot be used against you in a court of law?
Giant inflatable penis and balls. No, I don't think anyone's looking at that and going, "Awesome." That's.
No, I mean, that's obviously for a joke, but I mean, like, just I don't know. I think I think that maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't think aesthetically for anyone. I think willies are function only. It's like it's what can be done with them. That's all that's important. It's not the
It sounds like it's time for another
visuals.
get folked questionnaire. Get folked voter.
Another poll.
Considering it's your brother and sister that have been the main contributors to this before, I think we still need to get the poll out there and see where
Yeah.
we land.
Let's ask the nation. Pulse of the nation.
The pulse.
So that's just my opinion. But I think I have an easier time finding people to agree with my perspective than your perspective.
Okay, maybe. But back to the kind of moral of the thing, what I do like is this openness of Ireland, and there's these people of the High Valley, and sure, who knows what goes on behind closed doors? You know, who knows what anyone's up to? But funny, all these guys getting inflatable stars, filling them with warm water, not having a pump, having to ask your neighbor for a pump, inviting your neighbor over for the pumping.
Yeah. The neighbor's got to be like, you fucking, you get this thing all the way over from the States, 5,000 miles away, and you can't get your shit together enough to get a pump.
Just like really fucking dying. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, but that's yeah, good, great book. I'm looking forward to it. Like I'm really enjoying it now. It's when you get past this part of it, when you find a book and it just hits a chapter where it's called like, oh yes, this is. I'm completely kind of in this world now of receiving letters from people. It's almost like you're receiving the letters when they come in. And his responses to the respective people then is like obviously taking you out of your feeling that you are the character, but receiving the letters and the letters he gets definitely makes you feel like, okay, how would I respond to this one?
Yeah.
But other than that, then what have I been at for the week? I was off swimming for the day. Watch Harry Potter. That's why I said to you I'm a bit late, kids. Is that a session? Harry Potter. Fucking, I tell you what.
That fucker.
Hardy stuff. It's funny watching the first one again. I haven't watched the first one, I'd say, since it came out. When do you think Harry Potter #1 came out?
Ooh. I want to say 2010, maybe?
No, I think it's 2002.
What? Wow, really?
I'm fairly sure that's what it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, so it would have been like, 20 years of age. Different time, and they all look very young. It's kind of mad with all the shit that goes on, both for those characters that they've grown up in, because I think they obviously J.K. Rowling has wrapped herself up in a considerable amount of controversy, just kind of with her statements on gender, and then the other characters, then like Hermione became like kind of and still is, I think, kind of a weird kind of going back to the theme of sex, is as she got older, she became quite a let's say a lighthouse, what do you call it, a beam of light that people wanted to follow in terms of fantasy. What's that word? Beacon. I don't know. There's a beacon. Yes, a beacon for, thank you, a beacon for male fantasy. But weird, because she's like, in the first one, they're obviously starting school. And Daniel Radcliffe, I don't know what he does, really.
He does mad movies now, though. He's
kind of more into his...
Yeah, he does mad... But back to J.K. Rowling, like, I remember after the books were finished, and I'd read all the books, I'm a big fan of books. I must read them again, actually, because I enjoy reading them. And they were still coming out as I was reading them, which was nice as well, because you had to wait for the book to come out. And it's nice. It's nice to
George Martin
nice to
job where he just gives up in the middle.
I was just about to say, it's nice to get a payoff on that, Mr. Martin. Just so you know, it's nice when a fucking author delivers on the stuff that they're promising. But anyway, so after the book, she came out and she said, "Oh yeah, sure, Gandalf, sure, Dumbledore's gay," and it was like, it's in headlines and stuff like that. So, oh yeah, it turns out J.K. Rowling confirms that Dumbledore, the character of Dumbledore, is gay.
The
And
fictional character of Dumbledore.
yes,
Okay.
and I was like, why? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, grand, but like, why? I mean, he didn't do anything gay in the
unless it's
books.
pertinent to the story. It's like asking about your sexual orientation when there's been no reason to. Just like-
Yeah. It's really, it just struck me as such a strange thing to say. I was like, but maybe, Mom, there might have been another context to it that maybe she was trying to make a point where it's like, maybe there might have been some other debate going on, like the gay marriage referendum. Maybe actually that might have been it, and so she just maybe wanted to kind of go, yeah, here's my way of supporting gay rights, gay marriage. Dumbledore's gay. So it might have been some context like that, maybe. But to me, it was like going, do I have to look back on the character and see was there stuff going on? But maybe that was her point. It's like, no, you don't, because there's absolutely no difference there whatsoever. Him being gay is absolutely no bearing on what a good wizard he was.
Yeah.
But maybe he really fancied the arse off of Snape.
You just like you read them back again, and like you reread them now with the kind of lustful eyes of
whole different contexts.
Dumbledore. Yeah, everything is just lustful. But now when I watch the movie, if I had thought of that, because I remember hearing about that as well, I think I'd watch the movies in a different context as well. Now, just because she has made the point now, as you said, there must be reason. There's method to it, like, you know. So now I've got to search. I've got to find why this is every single look is just like.
I was like, oh yeah, I see it.
Quickly get my wand. Oh yeah, I hear what he's saying. I hear what you're saying. Yes,
expecto Patronum.
Biggest Maximus. I see what you're saying. I hear you. I hear you, Dumbledore. Quickly slay the dragon. Oh yes. I just constantly like, I hear you. I just can't get any work done now because everyone heard he was gay, and now everyone just has a joke about it all the time. It's just like anytime he makes any reference, it's time for dinner. Oh really? Oh yum yum. It's just like nothing. It's like works in a hetero sense as well, but because we have to know he's gay, we have to assume he has constantly got very beautiful penises on his mind. Well, very beautiful penises.
Jokes on him. They don't exist.
Jokes on you, man. Jokes on you, because Dumbledore's schlong, as written by J.K. Rowling in the book 4, I believe it is. The snake slithered out of the cage with a deft movements of a ballet dancer. It swung, swinging from side to side, licking the... Oh, I've gone too far. I can't bring this home.
Yeah, your ad-libbing since the start of the episode has improved.
Thank you. I believe I maybe got about 4 seconds into that there before I truly fell off the wagon. But yeah, Dumbledore's penis.
It's hard to come up with double entendres on the spot there like that. Quite long-winded ones as well.
I'm not first, as I said, John B. Keane. I'm not yet, at least. Anyway, I haven't got his turn of phrase. But then again, I haven't committed as much time to it.
You're trying to amalgam two very different genres there, though, like the fantasy world of J.K. Rowling and the 1950s Ireland world of John B. Keane. Could be a beautiful match made in magical heaven. Maybe
Unicorn Blood was just like in the first, because I watched the first one today. Unicorn Blood.
Yeah,
it could be like some sort of aphrodisiac. Is that what it was? It was like, it keeps it alive because the unicorn blood.
An aphrodisiac, by the way, is an aphrodisiac just something that gets you in the mood? Is that what an aphrodisiac is?
Yeah, exactly, like oysters.
Okay. Any other ones? Is it just oysters? All alcohol, basically.
I believe chocolate might be on. Oh no, there is something that. Pomegranate? Was that something that I had heard before? Pomegranate,
passion fruit. Surely passion fruit.
Surely passion fruit. And unicorn blood.
And unicorn blood.
If you can find it,
if you can mix all that together. you've got
Exactly.
yourself.
Because there is a part in it where like
But you better have a woman or a rubber doll on ready to go because
right,
you're going to explode at the lines if you
and
don't.
a pump and some warm water.
And plumbed water into the house so that you can and the immersion should be working as we've
Just,
established already.
just Hagrid is like, give me that, Harry. Oh, you got a pump here. All right, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're all
You're a wizard.
That's unicorn blood, Harry. Don't.
Is that unicorn blood on your pants?
Anyways.
Okay.
Delightful. Delightful.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's not enough said about that. I think we've covered all the bases.
Yeah. Have you any kind of musical announcements before we run up to the end of this session?
No, I've just started working on a new song. That's my news, and looking forward to it. And I have like nice guitar melodies ready to go, and starting it in earnest now this week. And after this song is finished, I kind of just have 2 rewrites to do of 2 other songs, and then that's kind of nearly all first drafts done, I think, of the album. What's the one? The album we're aspiring to. So that's my kind of musical announcement.
Nice.
You know,
I don't have much apart from I think we're playing on the 12th, but I'm in the midst of conversations. We're booked in for the 12th. We've a confirmed date with the Posh Teckle to use their back room on the 12th for kind of a hawk and...
if Dumbledore had said that sentence now,
What did I
I'd have
say?
been reading into it. I'm booked to use the back room. I'm booked in.
But we're
Sorry.
thinking, but I'm thinking we might pull out it is booked. However, it's just time. You know, it's all these things. As we are 4 people in the Hawk and Twine crew over here in Berlin, and when you are over also, then that makes it even more complicated living over in Dublin or in Ireland. But yeah, so we're supposed to play on 12th. It's 10 days away. One of the guys, the cellist, is playing an orchestra gig soon enough, so he's busy kind of doing some music stuff for that. So I'm just trying to figure out if that's actually going to happen on the 12th or not. But for now, you can. It's happening on the 12th in the back room. Posh Teckle, Ode to Shane MacGowan,
Nice.
mixed with the Hawk and Twang classics and. Maybe a new Hawk and Twang one, another Ed written classic, future classic, will be shared with people. But other than that, I'm going to hit the hay because it's late now, Sunday evening. This is the second recording of this. Brings us back to the old days of the old hour and a half sessions, up to 2 hours sometimes of a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. But listen, take care, Ed. Have a nice evening. It was lovely.
You too, Andrew. keep that warm water flowing.
Keep that
warm water. Dirty bastards.
This is the 70s, so where the pump is coming, it must have been like a real like. I know, like I don't know what kind of pumps they had back
foot
then.
pump, I'd say, no, for a car. Like.
Jesus Christ, 83 years of age. I guess he had the neighbor over to do the pumping. That was probably the neighbor was doing the pumping, and he only got to. But he was only going to get sloppy seconds when it came to the end product. But change the water in that, would you? Anyways, take care, man. Have a nice evening.
Yeah, I mean, but like you say, let's not judge. You know, let's not.
No, absolutely not.
These guys too harshly.
I do fear for the world, though, and just kind of like with the social media and that, and people's ability to chat. That maybe this is going to make a comeback. Maybe it's time to get in on this now at ground level. This is something that's obviously a big thing in the world.
What? Inflatable dolls?
Yeah. I'll think on that. I'll do a bit of Googling. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.